Going live. You are now live. Actually, it just says you are or you're live. You're live? Question mark. Oh, what's going on, guys? So it is Sunday. It is Memorial Day. No, it's not Sunday. It's freaking Monday. Wow, I gotta change the title of the thing. So Shoky Sunday is a day late. Long weekends always get me stupid. Id Monster, what's going on? It has felt like Sunday all day because normally this would be my day off on Sunday, but it's Monday because, yeah, either way, Memorial Day. Happy things there. And of course, thank you to all of the uh, men and women who have given their lives in the service of this country, and not just being thankful for barbecue and beer. Although I did have beer yesterday, which left me slightly wrecked today. So what's going on, guys? I need to like put question mark in the title now. It's not Sunday, it's Monday, stupid. But anyway, we went to Galveston today just because it was like the main thing we wanted to do for our vacation that got canceled because of the storms that rolled through a couple weeks ago. So we went down there. Of course, it's Memorial Day. It's packed. Beach is loaded down with people. Even though we got down there fairly early this morning, it was still pretty busy. Had some good food, walked the beach, went and did some stuff we'd never done before down there. So shut up, Steve. Um, but my back is killing me from like some of the stuff we did. If you, we went on a duck boat or duck tours, which is a cool amphibious deuce and a half, basically. But it is incredibly rough riding around the streets. We also did a 5D ride kind of dealy, which one of them was really lame, and you're like standing and the floor shook, and it was only like 3 minutes. The other one was a cool like minecart ride thing, which was so intense, like the whole thing shifts and moves and shakes and everything. That thing like hurt my back when we were done. Like, and it was fine in the moment, but now that we've sat for 2 hours to get home, my back's killing me. But like it, like the last little thing, like just like jolts you, and it like snapped me back and actually like popped my back in a few places, which felt great then. Hurts now. Either way, what's up, guys? So, in case you didn't catch it in the thumbnail, I do have this little beauty still in my possession because I haven't gotten to meet up with Thomas Rice yet. So I've got his little not R2D2 ball. Yay. So actually, if you guys aren't following him on a lot of things, I don't know that he's posting a lot of pictures. He sends them to me. So he's actually worked on his version of the cup for this guy. So he took his other ball, has now customized it to match this one effectively, and has built a custom cup around it the same way I did. But he did his own version of the weapons and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. He's not quite done with it yet, nearly there. But that should be popping up over on his channel fairly soon. So look forward to that. And then he and I are supposed to be getting together as quickly as we can. His schedule changes and he'll have Fridays available. So we're going to be doing some more stuff together coming up soon, like tutorial videos. I'm going to teach him about some of the weathering stuff I've been playing with. If you guys are following my community tab, you've seen some of my experiments recently on experimenting with like super heavy weathering and chipping and rust and stuff like that. So he wants to learn those things, so I'm gonna apply my knowledge to him because he wants to learn. And so we'll be doing kind of tutorial walkthrough videos, or the hey, we're gonna try this out videos. And in case you guys are wondering, yes, my hair went away. Um, it was just, it's been too damn hot lately, and my hair was getting long. I needed a haircut anyways, and it's been a while since I buzzed it all off. Not that I have that much to work with, but it doesn't look bad. I'm getting used to it. It's been a couple days. And the beard being here is pretty much the only reason I'm doing it. So that's one of those. I'm so dumb. I'm not getting over the fact that I still think it's Sunday. Because tomorrow, the way my schedule works, if a holiday falls on Monday, which is my normal scheduled day off, they bump it a day so that we get a paid day off as well. So I actually have tomorrow off as well as today. So today would have been my normal paid day off, not paid day off, my normal weekend day off. And then tomorrow, no, it would be paid. Yeah, either way, a paid holiday off. So it bumps to Tuesday. So my whole week's going to be screwed up. Because clearly I thought today was Sunday. But I did spend most of my Sunday fairly well drunk, so. Wear plaid shirts, embrace your inner lumberjack. I have no lumberjack in me. Oh, that's better. I had to move. Oh, and the other night when I was doing when we were doing the filming, I guess afternoon actually, we were filming the Balls for Balls winners. I looked over and noticed that my Power Rangers have fallen over again, so I got to come in here and fix that. I think tomorrow will be spent putting away the things that are now taking up the review desk. And I've got to get back to reviewing. In case you guys haven't noticed, there hasn't been a whole lot of new content lately, aside from Balls for Balls directly related content. And that's because I have not been reviewing things, like, period. Like, I've got a ton of figures here, I just don't want to review them. But I built 3 new kits last week. So the Maganak core thing. I built that, so I can go ahead and review that real quick. Should be a pretty short review, if I'm honest. And I built 2 Kamen Rider kits that I was really excited about, and the excitement paid off, if I'm honest. So I need to review those, get those out over the next week or two. Along with just kind of getting back in the swing of things. We've got okay weather right now, so I have to finish the local type that I got hung up on. I finally got my paints in. It took like 3 days longer than expected to get to my paints and everything else in. Built the HGUC DJ the other day. Cool. I wanted that one. I just never got around to getting it. So I have the paints I need to finish the local type. I had got some clear coats in because I was out of clear coat, so that I can really buckle down and knock that out. But since I was waiting, I said, screw it. I'll go ahead and knock out these 3 kits and get back to building new stuff. So I got the Maganak core suit thing in, and just went ahead and built it because it was actually a really fast build. But it was pretty cool. So that's in the other room still. But like I said, I've got to clear off this disc. I've got Transformers, I've got Gundam kits, I've got Star Wars kits, I've got 52 toys, new beef boxes, got a nice little camo version of the D10 here, which is actually pretty awesome. And then the clear mint version of the D10. I'm not planning really on reviewing these guys, just because they're essentially the same thing. They're just different color schemes, basically. They're pretty damn cool, though. And then I have a custom JoJo in the other room, too. But either way. But let's go ahead and let's talk about the Balls for Balls contest, since it's now over. Man, this was a rough one. Like, given the fact that it ended up being a significantly smaller turnout than Lupus for Lupus, this was a lot of work. Like, a lot of planning, a lot of designing, a lot of stuff behind the scenes, a lot of organizing people, which was not easy this year due to obviously unforeseen circumstances, as 1/2 of my judges actually did not participate because, well, basically looking for a new job. So that was Josh Como from Hobbytown. He was my original 5th judge, and then I hadn't heard from him in a long time, and then the news comes up that Hobbytown is closing. So I tell him, I was like, look, man, if you can't do it, you can't do it. It is what it is. And I had already not been hearing from him. So I tapped Dion. And I'm like, hey, man, do you want to fill in for Josh? And then, of course, once again, Hobbytown closing. He's got to find a new job. So neither of them end up voting at all, or doing any kind, well, not voting, judging. They did, Dion did help vote for the Hotshot class winner, because he was there. I mean, he still managed to look through a few of the things, so that's good. But like behind the scenes, that was a couple of things. So in reality, had Dion or Josh managed to jump in and do some stuff, maybe the numbers might have shifted. I mean, it is what it is. The guys who won. So, I mean, I don't think there would have been a different advanced winner. I think Tony kind of knocked it out of the park. So there was like nobody who could really match up. And that sort of brings up something that I heard from a buddy of mine from the Texas Gundam Club. So when I found our very last entry, I believe it was Jeremy Hamilton, uh, with his Tachikoma. Uh, Dustin, he was like, "So, where can we see the other contestants?" Mind you, we were about to judge. This was the second to last day that you could even submit. And I said, "Well, the only the judges get to see the contestants unless somebody has posted their stuff publicly." And he said, "That's kind of bullshit." And I'm like, "Do you normally know what your competition is doing? I mean, like, it's like, once again, you guys are kind of jumping in because he was friends with him, uh, or even roommates for that matter." And I'm like, "Do you normally know exactly what the competition is doing when you enter? Because I think that's sort of cheating." I was like, "You don't tend to see what the other people are building beforehand." So, I mean, I guess I could put it up to you guys the next time we do a contest like this. Do we have people publicly post their entries, or do I put their entries up there publicly to see? Is that fair? Because then somebody who hasn't done theirs or is still working on theirs can see a completed competition piece and then up their game accordingly, knowing that that other piece is done. Is that fair? I don't think it is. I think if you want to post work in progress photos and stuff like that along the way, that's on you. But I don't think it's fair for us to publicly, you know, put it out there. Now, I did represent Josh's build um, only really locally in the Houston and Texas clubs, just to show it off because I knew there wasn't really any direct competition there because nobody else entered the advanced category until Jeremy did. Um, but that was literally with like 2 days to go, so it's not like anybody was making major changes in the last 2 days. But I don't think in the future that it'll change unless the competitors say they want to do that, which I don't think it. Once again, I don't think it's fair. And be like, if you've got like 3 weeks to go, somebody's already done for some reason. Is it fair to pop it up for other people to see? But anyway, I'll leave that thought out there for the three of you who are watching. By all means, guys, if you're in the comments, say there. There's Jonathan Gross. I think publicly posted entry sounds a bit silly. I'm on your side with that. Yeah, I think. I mean, like a little bit of prodding, like what I did to Josh and basically everybody when I saw Tony's initial build, and I said everybody who's in the advanced category, step up your game. I think those of you who were already in the game did. The hard part was finding people once the extension was granted. And basically, between myself and Thomas and even Joey, we were trying to hunt down entries. This contest really, despite the advertising, despite hitting up every group possible, sharing on Instagram, sharing on Twitter, constant YouTube barrages at least once a week for nearly 2 months, it really, there wasn't anywhere near the participation from the previous contest. Like balls for or lupus for lupus, I considered doing it again this year instead of a new type of contest. And honestly, seeing the sheer amount of lupus builds that were done coincidentally in this month for May, for those who don't know, May is Lupus Awareness Month. Um, I think the turnout would have been a little bit different. Now, do I blame the subject matter or the kits, for instance? I know that ball kits were pretty hard to come by. Knew that rolling into it, but enough people managed. Like there were more entries that were ball related than horror related, and if they were horror related, they were mobile horrors. So that was like the thing. And even granting the extension did help the guys who were already entered. It didn't necessarily allow new people to enter, because there was a few that kind of said that they would jump in and never did. So that sucks. Um, yeah, but that's why I always allow for at least 4 days to judge. So even if everybody submitted on the same day, I mean, you're talking about going through anywhere from 10 to 30 pictures, or in the case of certain people, 70 pictures. But um, if there's enough to show off, then yeah, the pictures are definitely necessary. I said that from the beginning. That's in the rules. You know, show your work, show off everything you need to show off. Um, and I'll kind of cover that too because there's something I want to talk about that. Shut up, Steve. The movie has started, Steve, a long time ago. It's not my fault you keep coming back and leaving. Um, but yeah, the turnout. The funny thing is there was support like from essentially like all of my team members, all the guys on the judging squad, so to speak, and even the other YouTubers that I made kind of a part of it. There was a lot of support, but it just wasn't a big to do. And even a shout out from Zacharias didn't make a difference this year. It's really weird. But it is what it is. I don't have the totals on the money just yet. Like I said in the video from Saturday, I have a rough estimate, but I also don't know. I think there's still some t-shirt sales that have not been transferred over yet. So that's a little bit more money. And then whatever Joey's going to donate. He hasn't even told me what he's going to do about that, which is fine. I'll definitely take some extra donations. But it's definitely nothing remotely close to last year's turnout for whatever. The next charity contest is going to be, I have no clue. No idea what that will be. The inspiration will have to find me, and if there's like a new kit, it may not even be a specific theme to say like a disease or something like that, where this was like literally, hey, there's balls. Let's make the pun of balls for balls. Um, that kind of limited people, I think, to some degree. But either way, if I want to talk about entries and stuff, yeah, that would have been fun, Joey. You had more important things to do, like flying across the damn, not country, world. Um, since Joey is now thousands of miles away. So once again, of course, he'll be hitting up all the people for their addresses and stuff like that. Joey, by the way, 10,000 roughly. There you go. For all of the winners that you need to get to, by all means, access the email again. I mean, just to get the behind the scenes talk here. Just go in there and the specific people. Obviously, the things are in the thing. Just hit up the people you need to. It's fine. And just send Jimmy's prize directly to me because he lives in Houston and I'll probably run into him. Just send it directly to me. Just hype for the narrative Apex you won from Gunplay Network. Nice. Haven't picked up the Apex, the big guy. I have the Apex. I don't have the C-Pax yet. I haven't built that thing. Maybe that'll be up next. I have something to send you anyways. What are you sending to me? You don't have anything to send to me that I know of. That's odd. Anyways, as for the winners, I'll just cover. I have other things, but I'm just whatever. I'm rambling. It's a secret. Great. Joey's sending me weird shit. Anyways, as for the winners, obviously I've talked to some of you already. We'll be rolling out prizes soon. Like I've got the pile in there. I've got boxes. I'll just obviously whenever I ship stuff out, I will send the tracking to the individuals who need it. If you have not gotten back to me with your address, what are you waiting on? Basically. So we can get all that stuff taken care of. Got to do what I got to do. but I also got to take care of bills and all the other stuff. So they'll be rolling out slowly over the next couple weeks. Um, Unfortunately, nobody really lives in Texas that I know of. Either way, it is what it is. I saved so much money by Thomas winning that Deep Striker last year. I was like, hey, coincidentally, I don't have to ship the largest thing ever. So it is what it is. Okay, so let's talk about the contest and the entries and stuff like that really quick. Something I wanted to bring up that kind of came up. So I was talking to Scott Plotz yesterday, possibly Saturday. Definitely wasn't yesterday. I was drinking way too much to be having a coherent conversation. So Saturday, I talked to Scott Plotz because he wanted to know if there was any way to improve his building. He was the one who did the Wing Zero type Haro or mobile Haro, which was fun. It was a fun little build. I'm not gonna lie. We dug that build when we found him working on it. I believe it was in Gunpla Network. Um, and we drew him in for the contest, and he decided to up his game and then do a little bit better. But he wanted to know how he could do better in the thing. And in general, for him, we all kind of had the same thoughts because I talked about this with Thomas yesterday as well, or Saturday. Did I talk to him yesterday? Either way, and we said basically, and for his case, upping his painting level, like it just could have been better. You know, it was a little bit rough. Not terrible by any means, but just get good without being rude. Just get a little bit better. I'm not a great painter. I do okay. Um, I'm learning just like everybody else. Got to get better at the things you do. So you just like where you are now, do more. Simple. But for other people who are entering contests like this one, where it's online or YouTube based, whatever you want to say, um, presentation matters a lot. And it's not just the kit itself, because, like we said, posing matters, your details matter, stuff like that, but presentation matters. That can be how it's presented to us. Like, for instance, the way Thomas did last year. He went to the nines with breaking everything down, taking pictures of all the things, even going into his own lore for the thing he built and expressing that made a difference. But in the case of Tony, he sent us an email breaking down all the different two emails technically once he did the upgrade. So every little section, so he broke down the story of his diorama, what the white blood cells were doing with the, you got Chip and Chop, they were named, by the way. um, and they're protecting the two good healthy cells, and then you've got the infected cancer cells and different things, like I think one of them was called meatloaf and stuff like that. And each little section broke down with a picture of the thing he's talking about, and then descriptions and all that. That mattered. Now, mind you, we didn't have enough time to really break down and read through all the things. Of course, we looked through all of his pictures, that kind of stuff. But it mattered. That presentation matters, and pictures matter. And that's one thing I told to Scott. I'm like, as an example, uh, Rob Milton, there wasn't a whole lot he could do with his Haro. It's freaking hard. There's only so much you can do, posing wise. His legs only do so much, its arms only do so much. But he put it in different situations, setting it on the utility pole with the warning sign, hanging it upside down from the tree in a whimsical manner. Things like that actually help in the presentation. So even though it's roughly the same pose, putting it in different situations and taking good pictures, even though like some people think you have to have like a review set or a photo booth to be able to take good pictures. No, the subject matter matters. What you're seeing and showing off matters. So if you want to show it in, like, take a kid and you set it in the grass in your backyard, and have it in an action pose again, your cat, something like that. Or like Josh did with his ball, and he had it playing Gundam versus, just as a funny aside. Just like last year, where there was a guy who had his Barbatos in like 8 different poses in different situations. One pondering out the window, one laying in a strange, sexy pose. It matters, It's like it doesn't have to be like on a photo booth set in blackness, the infinite blackness of a photo booth, which honestly is not the best way to represent the thing that you're trying to show, because dark. As that's actually one criticism I would have of Tony. He went for ambiance in his pictures, and a lot of them were super dark. If it wasn't for the fact he was getting really close, detailed shots of things, probably couldn't see half of his build. The same problem with Kevin Hagen last year with his Sinanju Barbatos. Um, his pictures looked cool, but they were so dark you couldn't see details. So when he sent us just lit, like well lit sunlight pictures, and we could actually see the details, we're like, wow, we didn't even know that was there, you know? So taking pictures outside on a sunny day is a good way to get some basic photography in. I mean, you could be on a lawn chair, like you could have been like in a lawn chair, you know, have some fun with it. Don't try to just set up a couple sheets of paper as a backdrop, you know. You could have it on your kitchen table and still make it look good. You don't have to be like end all be all whatever. And like half the time, you don't need like a good camera. Cell phones have good enough cameras nowadays. Like almost everything you guys see me do is done with my cell phone. Even my old cell phone that I usually use to film reviews, um, I can still output great images and pictures. Throw it through an Instagram filter for all it matters, you know. But that's a basic suggestion that I can give to a lot of people who are entering contests like these, like obviously the ones I'm putting on, like Zach puts on, or other channels. If you're doing a build contest via the internet, taking pictures matters. Presenting the thing well matters, um, and it's something that a few of you took to heart. Like even there, his. Uh, he was kind of in a workshop situation with the way he was taking pictures of his, mobile haro rocketing off and that stuff. Um, like he took enough good pictures of all the things he did, but I mean, it wasn't like stylized. It's not like beautiful like settings and all this. He was just very detailed and getting close to all this stuff. And then of course a quick little like walk around video that was actually nice too. Um, wasn't 100% necessary, but was good. That mattered. Um, and I talked to him Saturday as well, and he's actually, speaking of Memorial Day, he is going to be deployed sometime soon. I was correct; he is in the service. Um, so there's that. But he will. The only thing I had told him as a tip I actually got from Josh Fisher, instead of using cotton balls to do smoke effects, use polyfill. I think they use it for making like pillows and stuff like that, and upholsterers use it for basic, not really cushions, but the stuff that goes between the cushion and the fabric, and the stuff can be stretched and played with and all this other stuff like that. It's not the same as a cotton consistency, but Josh has used it to do a campfire, and it's got like the smoke billowing up that way, and it works. It's pretty cheap. You buy like a whole bag of it. So I suggested that in the future for him to look into it. He won't be able to build for a while because he's getting deployed. Um, but that was my suggestion to him, and maybe you guys could use that as well. And if you wanted to have a fire effect, like of course you can add your paint to the outside of said polyfill, but do something like Josh did and take one of those little LED tea lights, kind of disassemble it a little bit, and the thing is built to flicker like fire. There you go. You could totally make a feasible fire effect with some not quite cotton and an old cheap LED. So just little things like that can go a long way when building up for a contest like this. Or say like battery's dead by now, or maybe no, he took the battery out. So Thomas of course did this guy, and there are 3 or 4 LEDs inside this. And his first ever real wiring job, and it's not clean at all and not really done Done up very well. If I'd had a chance to sit down with him, I would have helped him wire this up a little bit better. Now, he didn't wire it up wrong. He just didn't wire it up well. Didn't even solder any of the joints and stuff like that. But it does matter. Cartoony cell shaded style of explosion, like something from Wind Waker. Yeah, but only the fire having that effect. If the whole thing looked like that, sure. But I think the problem is that they literally look like a pile of cotton balls. But either way, what I was saying with this, so like I gave Thomas the idea to put the LEDs in here, even helped him shape or cut out the edges inside here, inside the cockpit to let the light through. I helped him clean that up, stuff like that, and had to teach him just a little bit on how to wire LEDs in the proper way so that they would work. But because he just went at it the way he did, if you've watched his review of this, he didn't have a switch or anything like that. Now, had he waited a couple weeks, we could have actually made this much better. So in the future, once we actually get a chance to get together, I'm going to help him wire up his second one the way I did my Moon Gundam. The reason I'm doing this is because it's still in there on the table. Actually, I forgot to order those LEDs. I need to do that. But a simple LED lighting system can go a long way towards enhancing a kit. So things like this, which the way he did it, like I said, wasn't wrong, just wasn't done well. Same thing with lighting up one of these bad boys. This is just begging for an LED to be installed back there, and there's so much room underneath that you just buy one of those Mr. Hobby LED sets like I did for the Moon Gun, and this would take no time at all to wire up and make cool. So simple little things like that could definitely enhance your builds. So but if your building is good, then it comes down to presenting. It comes down to posing, and posing ain't easy sometimes. When you have just a Haro or you have just a ball, like there's only so much he could do with this. I mean, literally the arms can only go so far, the guns can only do so much. So when it comes down to that, it comes down to finding other ways to make it interesting, such as hanging it from a tree upside down and taking a fun picture of it. Silly things like that. So in the future, for those who watch this video, just ideas, Oh, by the way, hi Jane. I know she's not watching at the moment, but tell her hi, unless she is watching at the moment. Now she only watches when you're on. That's right, Joey. Speaking of which, like the haircut, look good. I noticed you got a haircut in your pictures. You were looking a little shaggy last time you went over there. By the way, she's laughing. By the way, something I have, but I haven't really gotten the chance to talk about or review or anything like that. New Lord Zed, which is pretty sick, if I'm honest. My first Lord Zed ever. I will say that Hasbro needs to work on their packaging, just like Bandai did. I had some issues when I first got him. One of these knee joints was completely popped out, and some other stuff was just not where it needed to be. I had to fix that. It just pegs. But the plastic is a little too soft on some things, and some paint mishaps, stuff like that. The second run is supposed to be better. Cool lightning effects, I dig that. The Z-Staff, though, that it has no paint. Despite how much paint is on his body, they didn't paint this thing. Who do you think you are, Bandai? Though Bandai would give you a painted piece as a weapon, but it would be made out of the softest plastic on the planet. This is actually made of some sturdy stuff. This is good, sturdy, somewhat pointy plastic. They just didn't paint it. However, I've got at least silver leaf that would just a quick spritz of silver leaf would take care of that. I don't need it to be chrome. Lightning effects are cool, but they're like jelly. It's like super jelly stuff. They all come with different effects. A White Ranger has like a cool effect that goes on his Saba. Shadow Ranger has something else on his. I don't remember. I don't have Shadow Ranger yet. So I'm waiting for the next run of these to come out before I really bother getting any more. Though I have a White Ranger, I don't know if I want to get another White Ranger. And there's lots of people who are 3D printing Lord Zed thrones right now, so I might be picking up one of those in the future. What was that, Joey? Sorry, I couldn't see. Dig the red, lightning effects, that staff should be chromed. It should be chromed, but I'll settle for a really good silver. Technically, he should be mostly chromed too. He wasn't just a flat silver till later on, but I digs it. There's only like a couple paint mishaps on him, but he was definitely not the worst in the bundle when I picked him up a few weeks ago. I like the tubes are good, and he comes with the Make My Monster Grow grenade, which I thought was funny. Like, he's got the cool staff which he uses to transmute things into other things, but he has a bomb when he needs to make something grow. I hope they give us a good Rita Repulsa as well. Goldar is coming out from GameStop. I'm picking that one up because there has not ever really been a good Goldar. Um, but for the most part, I'm not really going to be reviewing toys anymore or figures and stuff like that. Like, because honestly, nobody watches those reviews, even when it's cool stuff like that or cool stuff like these guys. If I do, it'll be on the second channel, I think. I think we're going to go back to that formula. If you want to watch it, you'll have to watch it over there. Not like it's that difficult to just go boom, and you won't have to watch commercials on that channel. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. They're fun to play with. I don't know if it's worth reviewing over here. I do have new age Transformers, as we saw in the kitchen. So I've got new Jazz, got new Prowl. Took me a second. I'm tired, guys. It's been a very long weekend already. And I do have this really cool jazzy version of Shockwave. And then I think they're still back there. Both two versions of Cosmos. So I've gotten a lot of new Transformers that I've been playing with, but I'm not really keen on reviewing them anymore. When I get back to Gunpla reviewing, which I meant to do Friday, but Friday ended up being about totally other stuff. Happy Memorial Day, yes. It's not Sunday like I thought it was in the intro. I do have new Marvel Legends. I've got Gambit, Weapon X, Beast, Infamous Doom, which is pretty cool, even though it's just a repaint of a Iron Man figure I already have. I do have the one of the Black Knights. I think it was a GameStop exclusive Black Knight from Fortnite, which is really cool, and I weathered up his weapons a little bit because they didn't bother. The hell, McFarlane? You weather the body, but you don't bother with the weapons. Made no sense. I bought that just because it looks sweet. It'll just go on the shelf somewhere. But yeah, that's all the stuff I've been doing lately, aside from making sure the Balls for Balls kept moving forward. I do have Flame Toys kits I need to build and or paint, which is one of the other things that I was buying paint for. So I've got some Flame Toys kits coming up pretty soon, different versions of Optimus, and of course now they've announced Shattered Glass Optimus in the Attack Mode Prime, which I have to get, and they've got Nemesis Prime coming from the IDW thing, and then they've got the Bumblebee kit finally starting to come out, which I need to get. There, Joey. So the Bumblebee kit looks even better. They've even shown off that if you take him apart and slap parts together, he can even sort of become his normal Bumblebee bug car form, which is pretty sweet. Completely unnecessary for something that's not technically transforming. But hoping to get that along with Megatron when he comes out. I think they delayed Megatron because of the delay of Bumblebee. I don't know. I like Flame Toys kits, so look forward to those in the future with, of course, some nice painting and weathering and stuff like that. I enjoy doing those, just like I enjoyed working on this custom I've been working on that needs to be finished. I don't think it's going to be raining this week, so I need to look into that. Reese has been very patient, and I did send him pictures of the progress of the paint. Like, look, I can finally paint. So he was kind of happy about that. There's still so much work to do. Like, getting the base coats down is literally just the beginning of it still. Details, weathering, possibly decals. I don't know. I've got some water slides. I don't know if they'll really work with what I'm doing. But lots of small detail painting and stuff like that has to happen. And I will show that off when it's done. Whether I put together the very, very over a year long now build log that I've had for it, I don't know. That is so much editing, I do not know that I'm keen on doing it. So there's that. I just got a whole bunch of messages all at once. Seriously, like, I don't know what just happened, but a ton of Facebook notifications just came through all at once. But I think I'm going to go ahead and call it at that. I'm very tired. I need to take some Advil because my back is killing me, and this chair is not doing me any favors. The nearly 2-hour drive home after getting my back beat up on the way didn't do me any favors. Thank God I have tomorrow off, but I get to spend it cleaning up this room again, doing laundry, and at least packing, because I can pack up all the winters. Except for Zeta, he's still getting his stuff last despite his nice video from earlier. So if you guys aren't subscribed to Zeta Gunpla, go over to the Facebook page. I did post his video from today, basically thanking Thingnos for all the stuff. And he did forget to shout out Gundam Planet, who did support the contest, which they absolutely didn't have to. So I'm glad that they get behind these silly little projects of mine. So guys, if and when you get your prizes, make sure you tag at Gundam Planet on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever it is, on Facebook. And you got to do the at Gundam, whatever, because Facebook tagging is a little bit weird when it comes to pages and stuff like that. But make sure all the winners tag Gundam Planet in their thing because they did support it. Also, you guys will be getting business cards, and I guess I can throw out those punch cards for anybody who can get close enough to go visit them. Basically, you're getting an almost, or at least a halfway full punch card for a discount on buying stuff in person. So, yay for that. Because once again, shout them out. They didn't have to help. They gave us some really awesome prizes this year. But guys, have a great rest of your very short little time left with Memorial Day. Hope you have been safe. We saw far too many accidents today. Yeah, my days off usually mean I'm working even more than I would on my actual working days. So there's that. Not to mention laundry needs to be done, and that's been piling up for a while. So, but guys, I will catch you next time. Maybe I'll throw together a Master Grade Monday unboxing for next week. I just don't know which Master Grade kit to go with. Or a not quite Master Grade Monday kit that's sitting right over there on that chair behind this Whataburger cup. Maybe that one. Maybe I'll start on that soon. Might do progress videos on it. But I'll see you guys later. Remember, as always, keep on nerding, keep on building. I gotta go build myself a new back. See you guys later.